Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. We are Team Inator-inators, and we will be pitching our product idea, Introspect. Here is the wonderful team that brought this product to life. My name is Olivia Dias, and I am a rising senior at Taunton High School.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aishwarya Rajesh, and I'm a rising sophomore at UIUC.
Hey guys, I'm Catherine Liu, and I'm a rising freshman at MIT.
Hi everyone, I'm Sagar Patel, and I'm a rising senior at John P. Stevens High School.
And last, but certainly not least, our phenomenal mentor, Shamik. First, Aishwarya will be talking about our problem. Trigger warning, we do mention the topic of suicide during this portion. Next, Sagar will discuss our solution. Aishwarya will then cover why our product works for our end users. And I will describe our market analysis. And finally, Catherine will walk us through our demo and our final steps for our project.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? We're all familiar with this line. The evil queen heard an answer she didn't like, and Snow White paid the price. But what if her mirror had her best interests at heart? What if it knew what to say to soothe the queen's insecurities? A lot of people could use that kind of support. Americans and the international population alike are experiencing a global mental health crisis continually being accelerated by the current COVID-19 pandemic. Just in the US alone, 43.8 million people have emotional and behavioral health issues that often go without receiving any sort of treatment. Medical studies display that social isolation and loneliness is at an all-time high. On top of that, access to therapy or a safe confidant is sometimes unreliable. This poses a serious question. Do people have the emotional and mental support they need? To answer this question, we performed our own research to understand how people are feeling. We surveyed people from different cultures, backgrounds, and professions from all around the world, with most currently based in the United States. In a survey of almost 150 people ranging from high school students to senior citizens, 73% of all respondents mentioned that they often feel overworked, stressed, or anxious. On a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest state of health, unfortunately, most people fall somewhere near the middle. In other words, they do not have great mental health. People also don't have an outlet for their problems. Looking at our data, over 77%, the yes and maybes, responded that they would want to talk to and share their problems with another person, but only 53 people frequently feel comfortable doing so. Even more troubling, all of these metrics were consistent across age, gender, and occupation. 2 people committed suicide at my school. My best friend and I have both tried, and the experience has changed my life. Taking a moment to read and understand the powerful sentiment of this high school junior, it is evident that many people, no matter who they are or where they are in life, lack the emotional support they need for their struggles. Students in particular should be worrying about school and extracurriculars and family and friends, not who's next. This is why we sought to create a product that can help people who are stressed, lonely, or dealing with any other mental health issues. We do not seek to give professional help. Rather, our mission is to provide a temporary source of companionship and comfort for those in need of it. With accessibility as our aim, our product is designed to accommodate a wide range of users, as we believe every single person should have an outlet to express their emotions and feelings.
Our solution is Introspect. We propose a smart mirror that understands your emotion in real time and converses with you. Uses effective emotion AI, along with natural language processing to act as an outlet for your problems. Once manually enabled, it works by tracking your emotions using a camera mounted on a mirror and a microphone to listen to what you're saying. The voice agent converts your voice into text, and a state-of-the-art natural language engine processes your voice and emotions and comes up with a response, which is then played out. These are some of the examples of the scenarios that the mirror can handle. In the first example, we see a happy person talking to the mirror about how she looks. The mirror comes up with a positive response to encourage the person. In the second scenario, we see a person with a sad expression on his face. The mirror responds accordingly with a positive message to lift up the person. The third example is just a neutral conversation, and the mirror responds accordingly.
This interviewee, a data analyst in the marketing industry, mentioned every once in a while she goes on a solo trip. It helps her acknowledge her problems that she's been pushing away. She talks about her problems out loud and it helps her process them. She's just one of the many who feel that real-time interaction with mirrors, specifically Introspect to express their emotions, has a multitude of psychological benefits. Corroborating our interviewee's experiences, in a sociological study, sociologists recorded people with depression and anxiety when they were in a depressed episode. Later on, when recordings were played back, it was proved that talking to oneself and seeing how they acted was much more beneficial than talking to a therapist. Adding on, while our technology is innovative, the mirror itself is a concept we're all familiar with and rely on a daily basis, whether we realize it or not. Everyone has a mirror, so everyone, regardless of experience with AI assistants, can incorporate Introspect into their homes. Currently, negative mental health stigmas as well as financial barriers are major pain points for those who cannot access mental health resources. In other words, expecting backlash and disapproval, most people aren't reluctant to talk to people even though they would want to. Thus, utilizing a common household item such as a mirror that would conveniently already be at your home allows high accessibility and simplicity to people of multiple social groups.
With a solidified idea of creating a smart mirror for access for all, we started our market analysis. First, the market for products like Introspect definitely exists. There are home assistant mirrors and smart mirrors such as Alexa, Amazon Echo, and Lululemon that are already in the market, as well as conversational and therapeutic chatbots such as Replica and Mindscape. We also wanted to determine the scope of consumer desire for our product. So we asked in our survey of diverse and global participants if people have used smart mirrors or other virtual AI products, such as Alexa or various kinds of chatbots. As you can see on the top right of the screen, 64% of all surveyed participants from diverse backgrounds and age ranges had used such products and are fairly familiar with them. The majority of those people were in our target market. Our target market consists of students, working adults, and senior citizens. As in our survey, all these people were either more likely to be lonely, stressed, or reluctant to vocalize their problems to others. It also showed that a significant part of our end users were engaged in products such as Replica, Mirror, Wobot, and Alexa. Here are some statistics on these products in our market. We can see that they're doing pretty well. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, the smart mirror market is projected to grow from $1.75 million to $4.2 million, and the chatbot market is projected to grow from $2.6 billion to $9.4 billion. Our product, Introspect, is going into a very profitable and rapidly expanding market.
So what makes Introspect better than these other products on the market? Well, to start, it's one of the first of its kind that uses computer vision to detect its users' emotions. Most wellness chatbots out there require the user to manually select how they're feeling, so happy, sad, angry, etc., before the conversation even begins. In contrast, Introspect determines their emotion automatically from their facial expression and provides a more streamlined experience. Introspect is also one of the only wellness chat tools that communicates through a voice agent rather than text, which makes it feel more intimate to the user. Next, as a part of our mission to make this sort of mental health support accessible to everyone, Introspect is designed to appeal to audiences that current AI mental health tools don't. One way we do this is through cultural precedents. Everybody knows the story of Snow White and the talking mirror, so the concept of a talking mirror is already ingrained in a lot of people. Thus, people might feel less awkward talking to a mirror instead of a disembodied phone software like Replica, and they would be more open to using it to work through their problems. Additionally, Introspect being a literal item of furniture means that its physical components are far more pronounced than those of its competitors, so it may even appeal more to older folks who aren't as familiar with purely virtual products. Finally, when it comes to voice-enabled assistants like Alexa, a lot of the people we surveyed said that they avoid them out of privacy concerns because they're worried that the product is going to listen and record them when they don't want it to. We took this into consideration when creating Introspect. The Introspect mirror is designed only to come on when the user deliberately turns it on, through pressing a button or tapping on the screen. Those we interviewed said that they'd feel far more comfortable with this sort of mechanism in comparison with other voice agent products out there.
Here are some specific comparisons to other products. Both Replica and Mindscape use a single input source. Replica uses text-based, while Mindscape uses voice-based input. This limits the accuracy of emotion capturing, and reviews of these products talk about how frustrating the experience is and how inaccurate or inappropriate the responses from the avatar can be. Whereas Introspect uses an innovative combination of computer vision and speech recognition to more accurately detect emotions. Mindscape does a more structured conversation, and a lot of users complain about the restrictions and limitations of the conversation. Unlike Mindscape, Introspect is able to have a more open-ended conversation that is designed to create a warm and engaging environment. Replica does have an open-ended dialogue and the ability to replicate the user based on their conversations. However, many users dislike the myriad and type of questions asked by the avatar before it is actually able to know and replicate you. Where our product, Introspect, excels is at prioritizing listening to the needs of the user, being more of a companion and not just a copy.
So here are some additional testimonials from our interviews about the potential of our product. Good, versatile complement to professional treatments. Professionals can recommend the app. This was said by an occupational therapist we interviewed. Another person we interviewed, a high school student who frequently works at her community's local youth center, said that this product can help normalize mental health struggles, especially within low-income communities. Graphs on the bottom show some more corroborating survey data. 75% of our respondents would consider buying a mental health product, so those would be the yeses and maybes. And the box plot on the right shows the range of prices that people would be willing to pay for it. Now, we're going to demonstrate the concept of Introspect in action. Our final application ended up being pretty intensive to run, so for the sake of time, we decided to do a pre-recorded demo that has some of the processing time cut out. This demo will also be using a webcam feed in place of a physical mirror.
I feel so sad right now. My boss just yelled at me all day.
That's what happens when you're the only one who cares about the work. You read just a little. Kid, you can't do much, but if you do, you'll get the raise. You are not alone. Just remember.
Aw, thank you. That makes me feel so much better, but my boss he doesn't get it. He keeps yelling at me. I don't know what to do.
He's just a little kid. He can't do much.
I feel so happy right now. Today was such a good day.
I'm so excited right now. I can't even.
I feel the same exact way. I'm glad we're on the same page.
So as you can see, we did use a pre-trained dialogue model, so the conversational ability isn't quite up to snuff yet, but we hope this gives you a better idea of how we envision the interaction to go. I think we're having some screen sharing issues.
Try stop sharing and resharing. That sometimes works.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Can you guys see the screen now?
Yes. Yep. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so where do we want to go from here? We believe that Introspect has a lot of potential to scale and improve. So one of our immediate next steps is to expand the talent surrounding our product. We've already connected with therapists and telehealth experts that are willing to collaborate with us to improve the product, and who have also expressed interest in conducting research with it and recommending it to patients. Specialized mental health applications. As mentioned before, talking to a mirror can have plenty of psychological benefits. Introspect is currently geared for the average person, but with the help of mental health professionals, We can develop it to help those with more specific mental health issues. For example, we could develop separate voice agents dedicated to comforting veterans with PTSD, or dedicated to conducting mirror exercises for those with body dysmorphia. We've also envisioned Introspect playing a part in a whole ecosystem of effective companions. Imagine a fridge that converses with you about your eating habits, or a shower that could give you therapy. Introspect software can be expanded to these products and create a comforting, empathetic user experience that extends throughout the home. Portability is another thing we'd like to look into. Some people might not consider their safe space to be in their house, so we could develop a compact version of the mirror for people to take with them anywhere. Finally, of course, we'd like to implement additional features such as multilingual support, a music system that's based on the user's mood, anything else that could further improve the user's experience.
Group 5, your 15 minutes is up, but you can finish up your last sentences. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So we just want to thank our mentor again, Shamik, as well as we want to thank all the judges, Ashley, AJ, and Mike, so much for listening to our pitch. We also want to thank our floating mentors and everyone at Affectiva for their hard work. And we want to also thank Tanya for giving us suggestions on our product design and giving us the sociologist study to talk about, and it helped improve our product. And thank you for everyone else who listened. Now we'll be answering any questions.
Great. Awesome presentation. Thank you so much. I do have a couple questions. First was that I know at the end you mentioned you're thinking about doing mobility. How, maybe you did touch on this, but how exactly, you said anybody with a mirror can do this. How exactly do you envision this working? Is it like a camera, or how do you use it in any place in your house?
I can answer that question. So basically, when we were thinking about expanding our products, we think that there will be specialized needs for each one. But first, touching on the subject of the camera. So right now, we do understand that privacy is the biggest concern that any consumer would have. And so this camera would be very visible. And we were planning on using a 180-degree vision camera, so that way people of all heights can be accommodated. In addition, in some of our other products, we will, choose a camera accordingly. And I know a question that might come up is why would you have a camera in a shower? We will not be using a camera in a shower because that is a very private area, but we will be embedding the software inside maybe a shower head or something of the sort, so that way we can embed it into multiple products like the portable mirror, the shower, even the lamps.
Great. Awesome. Another question I had, so I think this is a very real-time thing. I'm wondering if you're envisioning it over time, collecting data and having people being able to see their data over time. If there's a visualization component, can people look back and say, oh, I had a really tough week last week, or yesterday was really bad, tomorrow will be bad. Have you guys thought about that at all?
I can take this. So we have considered implementing a feature like that. However, also due to the privacy concerns, we were worried about how people would feel about their data being collected over a long period of time. Because naturally, being a sort of a mental health tool, the sort of information that people are going to be sharing with us is rather sensitive. So at this time, we currently intend for none of the info to be saved between interactions. It'll be a time-by-time cases. A time-by-time basis, but we may look into doing that in the future once we get some more of the privacy policy fleshed out.
Got it. Okay, I think that's probably all my questions. AJ and Mike, you're up.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Very professional presentation. What roughly is the price point you're targeting on this?
I can take that question. So we're trying to be accessible to many people of many different backgrounds. We're trying to do as low as possible price. We do understand to make revenue that it would have to be a little bit high. So we're estimating around $250. Other smart mirrors are costing around $1,000 to more. So then we're trying to reduce the price of our smart mirror by using cheaper products. Not cheaper products, but we're using more efficient, but we're not trying to drive up the price as much, just because we don't want to restrict the number of people that can actually buy it. So we're gonna around $250, we're gonna have the price be.
And adding on to that, I know Olivia mentioned using cheaper products, and to elaborate a little bit more on that, we did some research on different chips. So some of the more popular ones are the Intel chips, as well as the NVIDIA chips that are actually pretty decently priced because they are nano sized. And these are some of the products that we were thinking of using that would keep things on more like efficient, but also something that can be accessible to all types of people.
Great, thank you. Now I'll turn it over to unmuted Mike.
Hey. All right. A few questions here. I guess, would this be connected to the internet? Like, have internet access?
At this time, all our functionalities we intend to run locally, so not connected to the internet.
Okay, and why was that decision made?
It's also partially due to privacy concerns. We don't want people to feel that their sensitive information is being put out there. So I hope that answers part of the question.
Yeah, and then just kind of confirming from AJ's question, that the price point would be solely from the sale of the device, correct?
Yes, it would be a one-time fee.
Okay. And then would I don't know if you kind of covered this, but what would happen if it's like, could a family like share the same device? How would different family members engage with it?
Yeah, so adding on, we want to keep this product as simple as possible because, you know, we don't time our mental health crisis and it can happen anytime. And for that reason, like Catherine mentioned, it would be like you can have a conversation with it and the mirror will not remember your private details in case you're worried about, you know, it accidentally sharing it with like a family member or something like that. We are like training it based on certain models that do understand, you know, how to respond and things like that.
Right. And would the camera be visible or would it be like behind the mirror?
Yeah, it would be visible. We were envisioning either having it like fully out there where you can see the complete camera, or it's sort of like in an iPhone where you can still see the camera, but it's sort of like embedded in the mirror, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you. I think that's really, really cool concept. You got me thinking a lot. So that was awesome.
Thank you.
Agreed. Great job. All right. I think that's it.